Alright, the air compressor just shut off. So, right back up to 178 psi. And our temperature's gone up to 63 degrees now. Alright, getting hot in here. Alright, time to work on our motorcycle. Alright, this is the ugly chopper that I picked up that the girl's going to buy. So I got to make it so it's rideable for her now. So we're going to do a bunch of modifications to it. You probably saw I had the seat laying here. This was the seat that was on it. So that's going bye-bye. So, piece of junk. So we're going to run the big Harley, stock Harley panhead seat on here. Put some springs in there, so I got to do some work on that. We're going to lower the gas tank down. It's already dropped down. So it dropped a couple inches, so looks a lot better now. I was hoping to go be lower than that, but that's not it. You got to have a little bit of clearance between the tank and the frame so it doesn't rattle, so you just put a piece of cardboard in there so it just sits on top of the cardboard. Like that. So we're going to make a spacer. So got a piece of metal. So we're going to cut that off. So I went down to the old metal shop next to the old shop and got some metal. So I just eyeballed it. Yeah, make it about that long. Yep, looks like I got good eyeballs. Within 1/8 of an inch or so. And then I got this old bracket here to go up off of here to step up. But I got such a big diameter piece of metal, it's not going to be much different than the height we need to be. So doesn't need a lot of buildup under here, but either way, I got this piece here I cut off, so I can get another piece to use. So found this piece here. So here's the material I just cut that piece off of. Take some thinner stuff here. So I might use just the same thickness as the material on the frame. So I might just take a piece of this and cut this off and stick that. I only need probably about 3/8 of an inch or so. So if I put that on top of what's already here, it'd probably look pretty close to what we have now. So I'll see. But anyway, we're going to drop this down. We're going to make the front end longer because it's low in the front of the bike. So I just checked with my precision measuring device here. So when you go like this, it hits the frame right there. Down here, it hits the frame way over here instead of back here. So it means it's lower in the front than the back. So right now this doesn't go into there. So before I'd have to lift the bike up and do a bunch of junk to make that go up higher. Now I have a hoist that works really well for these applications. So put this thing right here. And when the hoist shuts the camera off, that's what happens. Alright, so I got the hoist out. So this lift strap here, probably good for about 1.5 tons maybe. 2200, 5400, or 4600. Okay, yeah, 1 ton or 2 tons. When you see red, you're supposed to throw them away. Yeah, I don't throw anything away. You can also just use a regular bike strap like this, which works good. These are soft ties. They work good also. Yeah, it's in the air. Put that right underneath, about right there, looks good. Everything else underneath the back of the bike would be nice. Okay. If you want to move the bike over, you slide it over a little bit. There you go. That way the bike's more in the center. Precision, like how I did that. So you make sure it's kind of centered across the lift. Looks good. There's my wrench. Jack it up. Burning comes up. There we go. So I'm going to jack this thing up about 2 inches. So 2 inches is going to be about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Yeah, about that much. That's probably what about 2 over fork would be. That's assuming the forks are actually 2 over. That's what those ones up there are, new assemblies. But the dimension of the box was not much longer than this fork, I don't think. But, so theoretically it might be this high. Back wheel's still in the ground. So now the frame's a little bit higher in the front than the back, and you got a lot more clearance. We came up a good inch here at least, because we come up almost an inch right there. So if we get that much increase in height, it'd be great. I doubt if we will, but probably be half of that. But either way, at least it'll be up in the air a little more. That when you ride, you won't dig in so much right here, because those are going to dig in pretty early and hard. So we're going to put a new tire on the old wheel. She didn't want to go to the 80 spoke wheel I got laying around. So we're going to put a new tire on here. The spokes are not real tight in here, so I'm going to go ahead and true it and tighten up all the spokes, make sure they're good. So we'll do that also. The back wheel's got a Harley, early 2000s Harley rear wheel here out of something. She likes that better than the spoke wheel, so I had a spoke wheel down there I could put in there if I wanted to. So we're going to stay with that wheel. We're going to put different handlebars on it, probably this set. I'm going to take out the floppy headlight and put one that brakes easier. We're going to put a front brake on it. So we'll take the brake off of this one here. Put that on there and put a brake on it. So we're going to put a master cylinder up here, or I'm going to do a combination off down here. So I don't know yet. I'll decide if I want to do what I'm going to do on it. So right now it's got a 5/8 bore master cylinder. 5/8 bore works good on one caliper. We only got one caliper there. If you want to run 2 calipers, then you need a bigger bore master cylinder. So this is a 3/4 bore off of an early 80s bike. Replacement for early 80s stuff. So I'm assuming that that's going to fit in the same spot, but I don't know yet. Look at the hole pattern back here. Looks pretty close. Most aftermarket stuff duplicates what Harley does pretty close. Looks like we're about 2 5/16. Yep, looks pretty close. About the same. So that should bolt right on. So the center line dimension from here and to here needs to be the same, and I doubt if it's any different than Harley, because like I said, most of the time when people make stuff, they duplicate Harley dimensions so they can use Harley parts on them down the road. This one has an angled brake line coming out of here. This one comes out the front, so no big deal. So if you put this on there, then the rear brake will work both front and rear brake, just like my race bike does it. You just got to run a brake line all up here, back around, and back down. Your caliper over there, and you'll do it. You already got the brake switch back there, right under there, so brake light will still work, and everything works good, and you have nothing up on your handlebars. There you go. It's like a car. Now if the brake doesn't work correctly, like one wheel locks up way sooner than the other, then you can put a proportioning valve in there and adjust it. With a big 21-inch front wheel and a large diameter front wheel and a smaller diameter but fat rear wheel, it'll probably be pretty close in braking power front to rear, because that one has a lot more traction on the ground but smaller diameter. The front wheel weight will transfer, make the front tire hook up a little better, so it's probably getting pretty close. I bet you it comes out pretty equal. So we'll find out, but I don't think it'll be a big problem. I always test it out on bad surfaces, so like on dirt is a good way of doing it. And you just hit the brakes and find out which end of the bike locks up first. Or if they open up, they stop pretty equally. That way, when you're in bad conditions, either wet or on dirt, your brakes will work good. If you're on dry ground and check everything, you make everything work perfect when it's dry. It'll be way out of whack on the bad surfaces. And let's be honest, you don't need brakes unless it's really bad surfaces. So that's when dumbasses really like stopping in front of you.